Hey, how you guys? Hope you're all well. You're with Perix, Wayne, and
Jade.
yeah, nice to see you all again. Yeah, we're back with Demon Mondays. Yes, I know it's Tuesday, but it's from yesterday. It's gonna go under Demon Monday. Anyway, guys, just before we continue, like, subscribe, share, all that weird shit, just get it done. We know that you're itching to hit that like button, and for those of you that are seeing this video, seeing this channel for the first time, just you can do it. Just, you take your mouse and you just go like this over that little red thing. Yes. So please guys, it's very important. We need all the likes, subscribes, and ring that bell notification so that you can get all our updates. Today we are going to be talking about Hellhounds. Actually not a very exciting or happy subject, but Hellhounds definitely exist and they need to be spoken of. Okay? You will notice that I don't have any video clips that runs around this whole Hellhound effect. There's a lot of shit on the internet about Hellhound sightings, but you can't just see a Hellhound. No camera is going to pick up a Hellhound. I think you've got to go under certain spells to be able to actually see them, or you've got to be in deep shit in order to see them. So yeah, just also a quick reminder before we carry on, we've got 2 haunted houses coming up this week. Myself and Nathan more than likely will be going to visit them, hopefully the next day or so. So stay tuned for those. It's going to be freaky, it's going to be awesome, and it's going to make you poo yourself. Yes. Anyway, so back to the subject. Hellhounds. What are their purpose? Why are they there? Why do they exist? Why have they been mentioned across all the ages of time? I mean, Hellhounds have been spoken of back in the early freaking like Christ days, you know. They've always been mentioned, they've always been spoken of, but no one's ever taken a photo, no one's ever recorded one. And there's a specific reason why, so obviously we'll get to that just now. But description-wise, what do you think they look like?
Well, their fur is as black as coal, and like it's like a smell of brownstone as well, like on their fur. And
so it looks kind of burnt.
Yeah, it's like very burnt hair, and they have like glowing red eyes and very razor sharp teeth. So they're very, very fast.
Are they small dogs or big dogs?
Very big. Very, very, very big.
Okay, so yeah, you've got this big black burnt looking, ugly, shitty looking dog with razor sharp teeth that's overpowerful. I mean, it's inhuman strength and inhumane speeds, and it can shapeshift into whatever it wants, and it can appear wherever it wants, so it basically can time loop itself to wherever it needs to be, and
it can
teleport. That's actually what I was looking for, not time loop, teleport. So it can teleport. So there's no running from this shit. Ain't gonna happen. Besides, tell them the weakness?
Silver, iron, religious icons, salt, prayers, and all that, and exorcism as well.
And according to the Supernatural series, gopher dust. I think it would work, but we'd need to find it. Yeah. So yes, there's a few things that you can use against them. Iron is particularly, and salt are one of your 2 major weapons when it comes to supernatural demons. Especially malevolent spirits, normal spirits, or like you see the Hellhounds. You know, if you had to make a ring of salt around you, or put salt across your door, or put salt in each corner of your house, it wards off, because they feel like, you know, it's a natural element of earth that they cannot cross that boundary with. And then iron, I don't fucking know. Iron just stuffs them up. So, you know, when we do another Freaky Friday or whatever, then we'll get to talking about this iron thing. I need to actually look into that, but iron comes up a lot. So that will help as well. So if you see a spirit or you check a hellhound, hit it over the fucking head with a train track. You know, 'cause that'll work. I think that'll actually work with anyone. You know. But yeah, so iron and that, yeah, okay, so that's great. Let's look at the first famous story around hellhounds, where they started being mentioned as in like properly. Okay, so this will roll us back to the 1930s. Alright, Delta Blue days, down in Mississippi. Yeah, Mississippi. We get to a famous blues player, Delta blues player called Robert Johnson, who only happened to make 29 recorded songs that shook the blues and jazz industry off its core. And people like Willie Brown and what's his other guy's name? I can't remember all these blues players, but a lot of the big blues, B.B. King and all these guys, actually aspired towards Robert Johnson to be like he could be. You know, the way this all fits into this whole hellhound thing is, cutting a long story short, Robert Johnson used to hang around with like Willie Brown and all these guys when they used to play in little dingy pubs and things like that down in the south side of Mississippi. And he was quite good with harmonica. He could play that thing quite lekker, but he sucked completely when it comes to guitars. So, I mean, people actually booed him off the stage a few times every time he tried to play the guitar. Willie Brown was starting to get pissed off, actually wanting to split pathways with him because he was giving him a bad name. So, I mean, when I say the guy sucked playing guitar, he really sucked playing guitar. Anyway, what happened was he just somehow up and disappeared, and he went, the story goes, he went to practice with some dude playing guitar in a freaking cemetery. But obviously this guy, I think his name was Tommy, told him, listen, you know what, if you really want to master the art of the guitar, you need to go to a crossroad and go and play a few tunes and call out for Lucifer to obviously meet up with you. I don't know if he did it exactly like that, but you know, I'm just getting to the crux of this. And the devil will appear and he'll help you out. So anyway, Robert Johnson goes off to some crossroads. He says he must go there just before midnight. And this big dark dude appears, glowing eyes, and goes up to him and takes his guitar and tunes it supernaturally and plays a couple of tunes on it. So Robert Johnson made a deal with the devil. In order for him to be the best guitar blues player that ever lived, the devil sorted out his guitar, gave it back to him and said, it shall be done. But, you know, there's a lot of talk. I'm actually going to go into this whole deal making with the devil thing on another subject sometime. But there's a lot of talk about, you know, you sell your soul to the devil, you can get a year, you can get a weekend, you can get 10 years, you can get 5 years. It doesn't matter. I think it depends on the severity of what you want and the amount of what you want. But, you know, I'm not sure what it is, but whatever deal you crack it. And once you've cracked that deal, Yeah, sorry. So anyway, the devil and Robert Johnson made a deal. He was basically disappeared for 6 months off the scene. Okay. Now comes back after 6 months, walks into a pub where Willie Brown and them are busy jamming. Gets to the crowd, says to them, "Listen, you know what? Can I play during your break?" So they reckon, "Okay, well, you're gonna take a break now, but please, Lord, just don't embarrass us. Hopefully you've learnt another string or two, or another, whatever they call it." So anyway, he goes up onto stage and he starts jamming a song, bom bom bom, and 80% of the guys, or the people that were, or the patrons that were in the pub, when he went up onto stage, were booing the shit out of him because he had been up in front of them before. And he goes onto the stage and starts jamming, and everybody's mouths are hanging open because it's the best blues guitaring they've ever heard in their lives, including the famous blues players, Willie Brown, and all of them were standing there with their mouths gaping open. So he became this whole overnight success. And where the whole supernatural thing and all that comes into it is people back then were saying that there's no way on God's green earth that you could have gone from this to that in such a short space of time. So something happened somewhere. Anyway, now where the Hellhounds come into this whole picture is he creates his 29 songs. I think it was over about a year's period of year or whatever. And he starts making the last 1 or 2 songs that he was making was, making a deal with the devil, and obviously Hellhounds on my trail. Okay. He was basically singing a song about hellhounds being on his trail and he's got to keep moving. Alright? Guys, this is not bullshit, it's not fictional, it's not nothing. You can go onto YouTube or wherever you need to go and type the words Hellhounds on My Trail by Robert Johnson and go listen to the song yourself. It is real, and it was done back in the 1930s. Anyway, 1938, somewhere around there, Robert Johnson died. At the age of 27. Some people believe that he was poisoned. Others have claimed witness to the fact that before he died they saw him acting like a dog and barking. And there are others that said some chick that was with him at that time, because obviously with him being famous, he knew a lot of ladies. One of the ladies that witnessed him dying said that the last words that came out of his mouth was dog, dog, dog. So yeah, he passed on, and funny enough, they only found his death certificate only surfaced 30 years after his death, and there was no reason for death on his death certificate. Now some of the rumor goes is that the coroners or the cops or whatever that found his body, when they found him dead, they could not describe how the hell he died or what caused him to die. So this is kind of like mysterious in a way. Very weird.
Very good.
So that would be one of the times where one of the famous stories about hellhounds where they've been mentioned. They come up in series, they're coming up in movies. I think a lot of them are very, I couldn't say they're close predictions of, or I can't really say that they are great images of what they are. The series Supernatural actually touches base on it quite nicely. They got their information from places where I get my information from. I'm not going to mention that, but I'm not going to mention where. But a lot of, like with the Hellhound thing, where I am studying on the demonology side of things, the depiction of Hellhounds in the series is pretty freaking close to the way they are actually described. You can't really see them if you've made a deal with the devil. So let's get to the point of what they do. You've got some of them that
guard the gates of hell. Guard. Like some of them are like guarding the cemeteries or anywhere that is
or burial grounds.
So they have a lot of duties.
One of them is obviously to go claim souls. Okay. They reckon that if you hear a hellhound howling, it's one of two things. It's either an omen of what, I'm not sure, or 98% of the time, the next thing is death. And that is death for you, not for your neighbor. Because once a hellhound is on your trail, it locks into you. You are the only one that's going to hear it, see it, smell it.
Only one.
Yeah. No one else is going to see it.
Everyone's going to think you're crazy though.
Correct. And I think one of the big reasons why a hellhound would be on your ass is because you made some stupid deal somewhere back in the day, and the devil sends out the hellhound to collect his contract. So if you made a contract, your soul's going there, it's going there in a very horrible way. I suppose hellhounds would come and collect people also that are really bad. Probably had the hellhound come fetch Hitler. I don't know. Damn sure he came and fetched Hitler. He probably sent like 5 of them. But yeah, so this is also one of the, I mean, when it comes to the description of hellhounds and things like that, this place that I'm talking about where you get it from, like where I said Supernatural would have got their information from, is from described in some Dead Sea Scrolls, from way back when. So, because there's nobody alive today that can actually say, I saw a hellhound, and that's what he looks like, because you don't really live long enough in order to give a description. Unless you hear it go howling, and then you grab your camera and film your last moments on Earth.
And somehow someone finds a camera.
Yeah. So, if one of you are getting chased by a hellhound, please could you film it so that we can actually get some proper footage.
Thanks, Dad.
Just ask. Gotta ask. Anyway, so yeah, here's a couple of depictions of what hellhounds look like. Have a look. Okay, so that is depictions of what hellhounds look like. The closest one is that Cerberus one with 3 heads. That thing is.
I think that's like the mother of all of them.
Yeah, that's very, very close. But yeah, there's apparently 7 different types of hellhounds, different names. We kind of do know all 7 names between the 2 of us, but holy shit, don't ask us to pronounce it. No, not gonna work.
It's Satan's language.
But just for your information, let's just put that on the screen real quick. So yeah, you're gonna see there's 7 different types of hellhounds and their names, and what they're called. Right, so that's pretty much all I can dig up on this situation. There's a couple of, when you talk about Robert Johnson dying at the age of 27, there's a club called 27, which is something you don't want to be part of, because obviously this club 27 is people who all died at the age of 27, but famous people.
Yeah, famous, like Amy Winehouse and all those people.
What's it, or Kurt Cobain.
And Kurt Cobain, yeah.
A couple of other rock stars.
Yeah, all those legends in the back.
Again, there's something you can Google. Just Google it. 27 Club. You see it. But you see, again, this all runs down to making deals and blah blah blah. Which like I said, I'll get into that subject on another Demon Monday, because it is a very interesting subject and how to go about it. What we'll do is we'll put the full recipe right here as to how to make a deal with the devil. No, I will not do that. It's not going to happen.
No.
But I will tell you exactly, I'll tell you some stories of people that have done so and have met their demise.
Insights of what it actually is behind the scenes.
So guys, look, it's a bit of a short video for you today. I couldn't really, it's nice when you're talking about certain things where you can catch a few video clips and put it up for you, so you can really like use your imagination and go wild. But unfortunately, that's not the case with Hellhounds. There is no video depiction of a hellhound.
There's nothing.
Yeah, so just know, yes, just know that they exist.
They do.
And if you cause too much cuck and make deals with the wrong oaks, you'll definitely get to see what they look like and smell like, and they'll get to see what you taste like.
And you'll get to see where they actually live and where they came from afterwards.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be so lucky. But look guys, thanks again for your support and sticking around and listening to all our bullshit. We do try and bring you all fact and not fiction. Fiction is for Hollywood. We're not part of that scene, you know what I mean? So we try and bring it to you as it is. You either swallow it or you don't swallow it, you know? It's up to you. But Hellhounds is something that I don't think anybody wants to report back on, to be honest.
It's not something you want to experience either.
You did read something about a hellhound being nice.
Yeah, do you really think they are nice though?
Well,
It's said in the one side I read that they can come to a loved one when a loved one's passed or passing, but I don't really see that as true, because one minute they are known to kill and run after souls that were made with the devil, like made deals with the devil, and now they're like, oh, what, guardian angels. It doesn't make sense at all.
maybe they were meaning a heaven hound.
Well, then why is it under Hellhound?
See, so guys, also when you do your research and things like that, you do come across a lot of cock stories. Oaks can talk a lot of shit. And this is also, again, one of the reasons why it takes so much time for us to put like a Demon Monday video together and things like that, because, especially when you're scouring around on the internet, you can come across 50 different websites, and the first 40 of them are just a lot of shit. I mean, if you read between the lines, you're going to see that it's crap. But look, we work hard. We bring you the information that you need. Every week we try and give you a little more knowledge so that you're not left in the dark when it comes to weird shit. And I think our next Freaky Friday has got to do with the vampires.
Ooh, Dracula.
I want to suck your blood. Ooh. Yes. So we're going to be chatting about vampires. And I can already hear them at the background there saying, vampires aren't real.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you got that right. I have some news for you. Yes, they are real. And again, it's like that whole Lilith thing. You've got to read between the lines here and there, and if you take those fucking blinkers off, you'll start seeing what's going on. Okay, but that's our job. We have to take those blinkers off so that you can start seeing what's going on. So yeah, stay tuned for the next Freaky Friday. Witchy Wednesday. I'm still busy with that one. I'll get to
We'll
it.
come up with a good one though.
I'll get to it. I've got some weird shit to talk about there. But yeah, I'll get that one done. And then also, like I said, I want to get those 2 investigations done this week as well. Which those 2 investigations are going to take priority over Witchy Wednesdays and Freaky Fridays, obviously. Because that is what our channel is all about. So I'd like to bring those in first. So if I don't get time for the other 2, then tough shit. But you'll have 2 investigations to check out. Anyway, much love from us here at ParaX. This is Wayne, and that is Jade. And peace.